What you're watching here is AI.
Ooh, y'all, look at him.
Using the medium of Google VEO3, a processing system, people are making these whole videos out of prompts.
Step 1, don't be dumb like me and glue your eyeballs shut. Use the damn mirror. Not your
And
front
we're
end.
not as scared as we should be. So in a sense of blackface or minstrelsy, what we have to understand with blackface and minstrelsy first is that it started off as a performance, right? And this performance was created in order to create like a structured reality around the mythos of a black identity that would come after it in degradation, in racism, right? And now everyone has this power. Everyone has this power to create and construct a black identity, and it's very telling what they're making.
I'm walking down my ops block right now with all my jewelry on.
That was a terrible idea.
It seems like this performance mimics minstrelsy while choking out neighborhoods in Arkansas, predominantly black neighborhoods founded by liberated descendants of slaves.
In Memphis, Elon Musk is making a play to control the future of artificial intelligence. His company XAI says it has built the biggest supercomputer in the world with lightning speed. These are the gas turbines fueling the supercomputer they call Colossus. They emit hazardous pollutants like formaldehyde and nitrogen oxides, according to the manufacturer.
You smelled it?
Yes, Lord.
Right away?
I sure did. Well, you know, after they got situated, I started smelling it.
Knox lives in Boxtown, a mostly black, low-income neighborhood in South Memphis,
The health department, they need to be ashamed.
where industry has taken a toll for generations.
There's a lot of people out here who got medical problems like breathing issues.
Cancer risks here are 4 times higher than the national average.
This form of AI is the worst form of anti-black racism. Today we're delving into the mythos of the theater of AI. We're talking about minstrelsy, specifically AI, blackface, and minstrelsy. And this is a topic I've covered so many times on my channel. Well, I guess I have a focus on minstrelsy or the performance of blackness as it pertains to content creators online, since I have been a TikTok creator and one of these content creators online that is black. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, they got Twitter. Don't expose your search history. No, Athelia's starting rumors. Athelia's starting rumors in the comments. Everybody.
I have a dream.
I had a dream Athelios would stop bullying me. So, with minstrelsy, what do y'all know about minstrelsy? I need to see some comments first. I gotta know where to start. Gabe said it's a caricature of blackness. Yes, exactly. With today's topics, I've been seeing a lot of AI minstrelsy on TikTok. I've been seeing a lot of AI minstrelsy on X. Honestly, I've just been seeing AI everywhere. Specifically with minstrelsy and AI minstrelsy, it mimics that same caricature of blackness. It started in the... First, I want to show y'all one of these AI TikToks though. Y'all gotta see one of these AI TikToks.
Back in my day, I didn't have makeup, and I still look better than you. Bitch, screw you. Back in your day, you didn't have right.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? That's just a mimicry of a black woman. Like that is not a black woman. That is a mimicry of a black woman. That is a generative prompt of a text of a black woman going into a public zeitgeist, getting public attention or retention in a short form algorithm, and then being put on one of these lists, and then having the whole internet, I guess, chime in on it or chip in about it. You know what I mean? These are the modern stomping grounds for minstrelsy, or the performance of minstrelsy, right? What we have to understand about minstrelsy too is that it comes in a context. It comes in a context in terms of times that it was present in, right? When minstrelsy was present then, blackness was needed as a spectacle in order to undermine black workers and undermine black people of certain rights that other people were getting, right? That's why minstrelsy was a thing. That's why minstrelsy was a thing. It was in order to create something, because that thing didn't exist. And whiteness, or the aspect of normalcy in a Jim Crow segregation era, needed that validation of blackness, right? Which is why you had movies like All the Way Back Then, which is why you had movies like Damn. What was that movie about white insecure America, like white boys with insecure America? And then D.W. Griffith's something, I don't know. A lot of film bros say it's a real good movie. I just see lynching and racism, you know what I'm saying? Othelia said, nah, you want to see some wild ass minstrelsy? Look up Fat Lad by... I don't think I'm looking that up. I don't think I'm looking that up. And thank you for watching on Twitch too. We got that Twitch stream going on too, and it's concurrent with the YouTube. Thank God. Contextually speaking, that needed mythos was needed in order for white normalcy to operate as it did, right? In order to operate in its own self-reverence. It needed a demeaning spectacle, which is why a bunch of people took place in this. My argument is with AI in a social sense, as we're moving into a digital age or a digital zeitgeist, this AI is perpetuating a new means of short form retention, specifically in blackface, specifically curated from a black curation of prompts, right? In a modern context, and then pushed into the algorithm. That is still minstrelsy. That is still a performance. There is, and the thing is, there is no like relatable figure even there. I'm gonna go down the timeline of this, but we gotta see a couple more of these. Y'all gotta see just how weird these are. Like, look at this lady here, bruh. Like, what? Like, you know, Uncanny Valley. Like, why is your kitchen look like this? It looks just so white woman. It's unreal. Like, it's just like, no way it's structured like this. You got plants in your cabinet, lady? Like,
For my chicken.
Those eggs look store-bought.
Shut the fuck up, you old saggy son of a biscuit-consuming bitch.
I just made some.
their slurs aren't even, there's no soul into it. You know what I'm saying? No one's pulling out the male sapien, the Caucasian crusader. We're not getting creative with it no more. These are just AI prompts. Why are we letting AI take away the satiability of our, like, you know, reverence as black people in our insults for white people? We had to come up with our own prompts. We can't let AI come up with our prompts. Yeah, I'm going on a tangent. I'm going on a tangent, but
I have a dream.
I'm going on a tangent, but
I have a dream.
I'm going on a tangent, but
I have a dream.
I'm saying once you let white people take prompts from us, you can't let them do that. The narrative created essentially is, you know what I mean, these black people you're seeing, these remarks, this type of interaction. This is what prompts and a generative method given to an audience pumps out. Things like this. Someone said the Sasquatch AI video makes me so mad. These ones are just misogyny and misogynoir. Exactly. And the thing is, this is exactly what misogynoir was built on. This is literally the caricature of what misogynoir was built on. You guys know that. Because when they were doing digital minstrelsy and they were doing these theatrical performance, they came up with this character called Aunt Jemima, right? I think there's a created history or a through line of art ingrained in racism here. Like, created through caricatures made in like American understanding and then put on a stage, you feel me? Popularized and brewed into normalcy with the public, and then like mimicked onto our phones. And I need to emphasize what we're witnessing is the next steps to solidifying stereotypes of black identity to a machine. This generative machine that like reads prompts mimics a history I want to like get into. You know what I'm saying? So Aunt Jemima, what do y'all know about Aunt Jemima? The original Aunt Jemima was like an older woman dressed as like she was dressed like she was still living on a plantation, essentially. I'm not gonna lie, with a handkerchief to cover her hair and everything, and she spoke with like a sort of jargon of AAVE, like invented dialect. And like companies hired this woman in order to portray her at World Fair expositions. Like, Aunt Jemima was a real person, right? Aunt Jemima was a real person. I gotta pull up this YouTube video. And how Aunt Jemima gets co-opted essentially into this caricature that you're seeing right now in a form of AI art is through years of social normalization and us retaining these same beliefs about black people in media, right? Whether that was newspapers, whether that was algorithms, whether that was like X and X. But now that we're at this age where the social relatability to blackness is this, you're gonna consistently get this, right? You're gonna consistently get renditions of this. Like, look at the comments. Someone said Rolly from Baddies, lol. Hey Ari, look, this is a white, oh no, this is a white person, this is a white person, this is a white person, like, this is a, no, this is a person, no. No, you just can't do that. You can't do that. Like, the thing is, Baddies itself, this is like 3 levels of fucked, because Baddies itself baddies itself is such a performative form of blackness, right? And then you throw in baddies being referenced, and this white person just look at Rebecca. Logan swims. Oh, look at this. I need you to see this buffoonery. This is what the new generation is participating in. But to understand the semblance of what they're degrading, or the semblance of what they're interpreting in a comedic sense, we gotta go into the history of Aunt Jemima.
Breakfast staples, few names echo through American kitchens like Aunt Jemima. Yet beneath that familiar facade lies a story that is intertwined with America's racist past, from minstrel shows to modern grocery store aisles. Aunt Jemima's image has carried more than just pancake mix. It has carried the weight of cultural stereotypes, and it's an emblem of comfort food and a stark reminder of America's uncomfortable history. So
basically, Aunt Jemima was a caricature for all these companies, right? Aunt Jemima was a socially created caricature in minstrelsy, and then they got this woman basically to advertise for these companies. This part y'all need to hear. Rosie Lee Moore. Remember that name.
1948 through 1966, and Ethel Ernestine Harper took over the likeness during the 50s, and she was the last individual model for the logo. Rose Lee Moore Harper, also known as the last living Aunt Jemima, also held the role until her death in 1967. And Anne-Leen Lewis performed at Disneyland at Aunt Jemima's Pancake House from 1957 until her passing in 1964. These women were instrumental in transforming Aunt Jemima from a trademark into a real persona, which was essential to the brand's identity and its widespread appeal. The marketing strategies employed fictitious stories, promotional material, and paper dolls, extending the brand's reach across the United States and even into Canada, while perpetuating this mammy stereotype and its association with Southern hospitality.
Okay, so essentially with the Aunt Jemima caricature, right? Essentially with the Aunt Jemima stereotype. What this did was created this literal creation of blackness, this figment of white imagination, right? Put it onto black women over time, right? Put it onto black women after black women after black women over time. And then as these ideations of Aunt Jemima in a public zeitgeist got so widely popular, that same stereotype of black women even essentially got pushed onto a public in a social sense. But you have to realize that the creations of Aunt Jemima, right, were pushed onto black people. Black people didn't accept those creations, and this fit into artistry in a really weird way. I kind of want to talk about the essential steps of black people even being a part of this conversation in the first place, right? Because for black people to be a part of this conversation is very convoluted, because Aunt Jemima was very much an artist themselves or a persona to a company, and there have been multiple Aunt Jemimas, right? Aunt Jemima isn't just one person. As much of a stereotype they have encompassed different individuals over the years. You know what I mean? So when we're looking at Aunt Jemima as an artist, you could kind of parallel them to someone in a modern sense like Speed or like King Bach, right? And this is what I'm saying, like this is the aspect of spectacle that we gotta lock into. The aspect of spectacle that we gotta lock into. I kind of want to talk about this a little bit. Like minstrelsy's comedic performance of like blackness, I guess you could say, has also taken a soft power, or has taken enough soft power for it to be a sort of, tool of fixation in art. And essentially in a black person's life, especially in entertainment, as you're on a stage, you're performing to an audience. Now more than ever, you're performing to an audience of like hundreds of thousands of people, right? Who at a majority don't look like you and don't share the same culture as you and everything, and haven't gone through the same experiences, and see you as this caricature first and foremost. Someone like King Bach could be really funny to a white person that sees like 3 seconds of this, like a black person drowning in a pool, then a white woman throws a watermelon at it, and then King Bach like floats to safety or something. You know what I mean? Like, oh my, like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine that in like a TikTok. That would be like a laugh, right? And that would be like a stereotypical depiction of like one of King Bach's past TikToks. I'd call that form a form of minstrelsy, but I'd also say like that sort of perception or that sort of caging feeling of blackness, or even the pretense of viewing blackness in that way is flawed from the jump. And it's why artists like King Bach were at the forefront of the short form content movement. You know what I'm saying? Even though King Bach was really funny, because I'm not gonna lie, King Bach could be funny. Like that spoon joke and like that backflip and like what the dog doing, like funny. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to
I have a dream.
I'm not trying to give nobody no ideas. But it's nice to see you here, Maddie. And it's nice to see you here too, Athelius. And that's how the caricature took place in black artists, like Aunt Jemima, right? Artists who just needed to make a living for themselves, and then companies offering these roles. Well, you could be this person, you have to mock your race, but we'll give you this X amount of check, right? And then people, you know, would start accepting these deals. But that type of normalcy began to be mimicked across platforms for black artistry as a whole, you could say. But let me stop, because I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. I gotta backtrack specifically to, okay, so what is minstrelsy? In the modern context, I guess you would say, because minstrelsy has looked like a lot of things throughout time. You know what I mean? It's looked like a performance on stage, white people participated in order to, I guess, solidify an aspect of blackness that is comfortable and palatable to a whiteness in a Jim Crow era of segregation. You know what I mean? And then moving on to the newspaper eras, minstrelsy, I guess, kind of look more like the caricatures you saw of like blackness, with like black people eating watermelon, blackness in that extent. You know what I mean? We have to understand that the caricatures of these shows from the very beginning, the caricatures of these I guess creations from the very beginning have just shifted in form, right? That same form of a caricature in a watermelon, in that form of spectacle with an audience relation, instead is like on a phone, right? With King Bach doing watermelon jokes or whatever. And with AI minstrelsy, essentially, what you're doing is giving white artists avenues in order to mimic or replicate these same type of practices with these products like Google VEO3, which as you know can be very, very, very racist, and a lot of these things use. But I also want to toss through some of these Twitter things I save. But y'all keeping up with me? You said it started out with white people wearing blackface. They look like Mr. Popo. Well, yeah. Wait, what the dog doing is King Bach? Yeah, what the dog doing is King Bach. Happy to be here. Love remote work. Okay, this is all from another live stream surrounding Arnold Schwarzenegger, but that's for another day. Okay, someone here says, digital blackface using a technology built off the exploitation of black Africans, using minerals mined by child slaves in DR Congo. Excuse me. With data centers polluting black neighborhoods in the US are stealing water from those same predominantly black neighborhoods. Wow. And yeah, I want to emphasize that there's a through line or a thread of anti-blackness, even in a material sense, disenfranchising black people, you know, in the Congo, in the US, and now online in a material and social sense. And this extents of blackness, or like the demerits of crypto-fascism. This is how anti-blackness works in crypto-fascist society, right? That spectacle that we're seeing of AI minstrelsy is covering that same the same degradations and replacing it with these other caricatures. You know what I'm saying? So you have our material reality being set in the West, right? With our phones, with our cars, with our computers, with our X and X, coming out of extractive slave labor in the Congo for certain minerals, right? And then you have those certain minerals or whatever being processed and coming over here, you know, like I said, giving us all our amenities and everything. And while we're here, black populations in segregated areas that we set up throughout the years because of things like redlining policies in America, in Canada, throughout North America, being set in certain neighborhoods. Like Grok set up his company. Wait, I mean Elon Musk. Did I say Grok? Did I refer to Grok as a person? I'm not referring to Grok. That's so icky. I really just referred to Grok as a person. But yeah. Give me a sec. I need to get these two articles, so I know I'm not shorting y'all right now. I wish I could spam the I have a dream button like 6 times. Is there a script to do that in OBS? I have a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream. But this is the article. This is where I found it from, by Adam Mahoney. A historical black community takes on the world's richest man over environmental racism, right? Last summer, Elon Musk quietly transformed a portion of South Memphis, Tennessee's communities established by a group of formerly enslaved people in 1863 into what the world's wealthiest man called Colossus, the planet's most powerful supercomputer. The artificial intelligence venture turned an old manufacturing plant into a powerful 550-acre supercomputer designed to train Grok, which is his AI company's anti-woke chatbot that deliberately pushes boundaries on controversial topics. The neighborhood, which remained predominantly black, was already choked on industrial pollution, but he promised hundreds of jobs and millions in tax revenue. For many residents, the promise of prosperity came with a price: to feed its computational appetite. A company called XAI developed 36 gas-powered turbines across the site, bypassing standard environmental review processes and pumping out toxic nitrogen oxides in a region already failing federal air quality standards. Advocates and lawyers said. Oh my god, am I reading out loud? Memphis has worse smog pollution than 86% of major US cities, and these turbines would make the computer the largest source of smog forming pollutants in the city. Already the neighborhood where it is located has a cancer risk from air pollution that is 4 times the national average. And then there was also a bunch of people speaking at council about the impacts that this has had on their family and everything. Term made King GPT. You can almost visibly see the red lines in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Baby Grok, Elon Grok. Hey, what's up, Ahmed? It's nice to see you here. Someone said Trump is John Lovell. Yeah, but when we're talking about Chat GPT, and specifically it's disparaging in certain communities, and how people like Elon Musk are using Grok in order to run an AI algorithm. You know what I mean? Essentially, what we're seeing here is 3 stages of anti-blackness. Obviously, the first one being with mineral extraction and harmful extraction from the Congo, proliferating this rise of AI, because as you know, being how these AI companies are built are through that extractive wealth. They need those minerals and everything. You know what I'm saying? Computers need those minerals, and Congo has a lot of them. Same with indigenous lands in Canada and everything, which is why things like bill extractive rights are being passed, and you see Carney going up there and chilling it up with a bunch of like oil people behind closed doors and everything. But I digress. We're focusing specifically on AI and this form of anti-blackness. So that is being wielded against the indigenous peoples residing in the Congo, right? And then in these specific areas in Memphis, in South Memphis, places that have been liberated by black slaves, and then essentially ran by black people. Like, it's so sad to demerit. Like, do you guys not know how hard it is for black avenues of love and even community to be even around in the modern day, amidst like the KKK, amidst white nationalism, amidst like racist and violent attacks? Like, white suburbs have never had any of that, which is why these things have lasted for so long. But when we're sincerely talking about the adverse effects of disparaging black communities, we're talking about restricting and stripping black people from the communities that they accompany, right? The people in New York who created hip-hop don't live in New York no more. They don't live in New York no more. You see success stories of people who came out and are excellent rap artists like Jay-Z and XXX, but of all the other disparaging stories, you will not hear them, right? And this is the thing of like survivor's guilt a little bit. I'm gonna start venting with even the aspect of even like being a black artist, right? And seeing like places growing up and seeing places get gentrified. Bad Bunny sang about it. He was like, if only I took like more photos type shit, and he was talking about back in Puerto Rico. But like, fuck, like that could be your hood, that could be your block. Like, imagine this, like when a Starbucks is on your block, it's it's like a death sentence for a lot of people. That's why that conversation happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm saying, it extends to the disparaging effects on Black communities. Even in a place like North Memphis with this new version of generative AI, aside from Elon Musk and Grok and all that, Google VEO3 is this new thing that's setting up also their own facility. And guess where they're setting it up? Guess where they're setting up? Guess where? That's the wrong sound effect. Guess where they're setting it up? Guess where they're setting it up? Guess where they're setting it up? In the other predominantly Black neighborhood in Memphis. So there's gonna be, so in both predominantly Black neighborhoods in Memphis, there's gonna be these like wildly bad for the climate like devices, right? And what we're gonna see is like these Black communities essentially being choked out more than they are. You know what I'm saying? And I want to read a little bit from that article because I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't like to rant about things and like not provide sources or not provide like where I've read this or where I've, because I believe, you know, information should be transparent, especially somewhere like this where I'm ranting so passionately about something. I should definitely have to have my sources there. You know what I'm saying? So let me sauce this out there. Google to build 10 billion data center campus in Memphis, Arkansas. A global tech giant is making a massive move just across the river, one that positions the Memphis region at the center of AI and data infrastructure. It's developing a 10 billion 580 center campus in West Memphis, Arkansas. Did I just mess up with geography? Let's actually do something real quick. Let's see if I'm wrong, because it might just be a city in Arkansas. But Memphis, yeah, because Memphis is also a city in Tennessee, right? And Arkansas is pretty, okay, I don't know the most US geography. So someone gotta, oh no, nah. Okay, I'm not tripping. Okay, I'm not tripping, guys. For a second, I was like, did my Canadian slip? I was like, wait, did I get something wrong? But no, they're both being developed in Memphis, right? In the Black areas in Memphis. I was like, oh God, bro, I'm sorry, Chad. I'm chronically Canadian. Oh my God. Arkansas is pronounced like Caricatures. Yeah, so they're both gonna be there. I'm sorry, they're both gonna be in the same state, in both predominantly Black neighborhoods. Wow, that was tough. I messed up my Canadian geography ass because I'm trying to get better at learning like the, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get better at learning the map. And like that always messes me up. I'm like, wait, are they the same? I'm like, is Memphis in, you know what I mean? But yeah. Moving on, as we're alluding to the aspect of a minstrelsy, or I guess a performance of minstrelsy, in the art, we have to understand that this has moved past the artist, right? Where it has been essentially used in a king bach or in a speed with speed clips or king bach clips. Now it's being wielded or given to an audience in an individualist method and being told like, here, like generate your own captions, generate your own text, generate your own prompts. And what this audience is coming up with, right? We're gonna go into what this audience is coming up with.
Come sharking with me, y'all. The niggas is outside. Ooh, y'all, look at him.
Did you hear what she said? She said, come sharking with me. The niggas is outside. Listen.
Come sharking with me, y'all. The niggas is outside. Ooh, y'all.
Do y'all know what sharking is? This is so obviously taken from like J5. Wait, J5 sharking. See, this guy is a streamer that came up with the concept of sharking, right? And the fact that sharking is like a modern connotation to Gen Z right now is all you need to know about this video. The context, you can know by the context of the AAVE that literally this video was made by somebody in Gen Z who saw this trend of J5 hanging with these type of women in his videos and tried to mimic or mimic mimic the caricature of women that J5 was presenting in these videos, right? Like, look at this. This is Miami, right? This is Miami. J5 is from Miami. J5 vlogs in Miami. J5, I gotta show y'all a J5 stream. Did I really just search up J5 sharking Miami? Oh my God. Yes. But this looks just like a J5 video.
That's what it was today, bro. It did sound crazy. Are you ready? Come on. Hold on now. Go ahead.
Like, I swear if you put them side by side, like, they basically just AI generated like one of these streamers' videos, right? And let's keep watching this. We didn't even finish it yet. I got that much context on.
Oh, look at him. He is so fine, y'all.
Hey, where you from?
These niggas think this shit like.
The fact that they're even pushing this mold of women or this caricature of women as normal in a generative prompt too, right?
Step one, don't.
Like, this being normative in a generative prompt is very telling. It's very telling of how the internet is using and compiling and getting all these versions of black women in order to make this pseudo like uncanny black woman, right? Like, look at this.
Step one, don't be dumb like me and glue your eyeballs shut. Use the damn mirror, not your front cam. Step two, pray. These tweezers do not got my back today. Hey, hold up. PERD. That's one cluster down, 39 to go. I'm basically a licensed esthetician now. Y'all see the vision? I look like a tired fairy, a sexy one.
Y'all all look at me. I did that. Don't ask me to do them again. I was fighting for my damn life, but I did that.
Look at her! Look at this! No way! Look at this! Look at the... Oh my god, this is so uncanny. This is so uncanny. This is so uncanny. Look at the nails. Look at the... No fucking... No way. No way.
Crib again. You better buy a leash if you don't want him here no more because he's always running to me.
This is all AI.
Hey, looks like your baby daddy ended up at my crib again.
Someone put a prompt in to make this woman say... I gotta stress that someone put a prompt in to make that woman say, hey, I gotta stress, someone put a prompt in, someone put their white fingers on their keyboard, right? Somebody's son put their white fingers on their keyboard and typed. Somebody typed this in, right? And then made that. Somebody generated that. No black person like tried to embody that. And this is what I'm saying. Like, there's a narrative like right now, in a continuum of crypto fascism, but in a continuum of contextual blackness, contextual ideations of black identity that have started to generate people or caricatures of blackness that mimic blackness like this, right? In a comedic sense to white people in this public view and then being pushed out, right? And that version of blackness is being accepted. Like, this is being ate up by people. Like, look at this. Someone said, color mind, not to see you, color mind, let's just see you, color mind. Color mind said, bro, none of this was in the Bible or the Quran, I checked. Goldilocks said, yeah, we're done now. Oh my God. Porcelain said, yeah, that AI got me. It's nice to see everybody in the Twitch chat too. 6 people in the Twitch chat, 87 people in the chat. Whoa, we going off. But somebody said, why they start...
Step one, don't be...
We gotta go through these comments. Having said that, AI is here to say there's no stopping the train, is already entrenched and is moving at incredible speed. Government ethics and enforcement and data sovereignty is where the real fight is. I want to say yes, data sovereignty is where the fight is, but essentially AI itself is inherently exploitative. And the problem doesn't stop at because, okay, picture it this way, because I think that they have like a very real like basis for their argument, right? Because the thing is, there's no protective services against making caricatures of blackness that are racist, right? Even though AI knows what racist prompts are. If you ask Grok what racism is, he will pop up what racism is. If you're like, is a generative text about a black woman named LaQuisha laying beside, asking a black woman about a baby daddy, racism, they're gonna say yes. Even your same AI company will say yes, right? But the thing is, okay. So as we're starting there's no services to protect those specific prompts from being released into the public, even though the prompts know that they're inherently racist and the system knows they're inherently racist, right? But secondly, above all that, the places in which these data centers are being trained, which is why I showed you all those first demographics first with Arkansas and Elon Musk building his certain centers, up in there, because the fact of the matter is, Black neighborhoods are becoming a battleground for this new aspect of AI technology too. Someone said the issue with blackness being shorthand for coolness, like cultural capital. I mean, color mind. Did I say someone? Colormind said this is an issue with blackness being shorthand for coolness / cultural capital. It becomes a cheat code to say aesthetics, to any aesthetics. So white people add it like spices they're not familiar with. Yeah. These type of videos always give me the ick. I'm glad it's being talked about in depth. What a time to be alive, honestly. But yeah, but even essentially, even with data ethics, we have to also think about the material clauses or like the ecological effects or the disparaging effects on black communities, because if we want black communities to still be present in America, we can't keep building things like AI next to them, right? Black communities will be slowly choked out. The kids will have higher rates of cancer. The kids will have more health issues. Like a lot of people won't stay there. A lot of people are gonna leave because of the polluting effects of AI, right? And essentially black neighborhoods will be at mass just left alone. You know what I mean? And this is what oil companies have done historically for a very long time, essentially with indigenous people and black communities. But this is what AI is doing in the real day, in the modern age, right? In a me and you basis, like as we're living through this. So the problem doesn't just end at ethics policy around AI, because it is unethical essentially for Grok to be built in South Memphis, right? In a historically black neighborhood that's already being choked out essentially by environmental factors. Why would you put more bad things there, essentially? You know what I mean? Why are none of these things going to white neighborhoods? Why do we have to constantly defend black neighborhoods and act like black neighborhoods need to be you know what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to constantly defend black neighborhoods but not white neighborhoods? It's essentially because of things like this. And I want to say in extents to advocacy, this undermining this or this quietness about oppression going on in black neighborhoods is because people don't really care anyways. Essentially, this social fabric is coming in with things like that whole YN debacle and that whole OCIA1 and whole, you know what I mean? What it gives is political despair. What it gives is political irony. And I mean political irony in extents. What it gives to me is political irony in extents to what it presents to a public, right? Like, y'all have to care about these neighborhoods and these conditions in order to stop the material reality of these things from affecting you, type shit, right? And if we don't want these things to echo through time, we have to stop them from echoing through time. The same way the caricatures have remained a spectacle in the public for so long. The same way like you know what I mean, like slavery in the Congo, mining for all these minerals, have been a spectacle for so long. Essentially, these black these AI companies like Grok setting up in Memphis will continue a destabilizing culture on the black audience. But let me get more audience because like I need y'all right now. I need to drink my water too. We got 6 people on Twitch. Someone said, Othelia said, imagine making LGBT just pay rent. Sick work shit. Colormind said the new era payday loan sharks are going to force low-income black people to sell their likeliness to AI companies to pay off their debt. Yup. The same way Aunt Jemima, or the image of Aunt Jemima, was literally passed and sold onto the image of black women throughout time, right? These same people will take and appropriate black art, essentially black TikTokers, black YouTubers, and use them in their own thing. But the thing is, they don't even have to buy black people. They could this generative art works across the stream, and this generative art doesn't need an artist to say yes. It doesn't need a checklist. Like, your art online is just currently being stolen by Google type shit, right? Being used to fuel this algorithm. So essentially those props are like ever so much like black artists like me, like black artists like FD, like Lil Bill, Essentially, it depends on what you're getting into, but yeah, I think those artists were more so like mimicking like J Cinco directly because of the way they were saying sharking and all that. But yeah, Keiki Inc., all my VODs are available on my side channel. How do you not know about this yet? All my VODs, I literally have 3 VODs available on my side channel already. Like, Twitch is gonna stay streaming until we hit... Oh, by the way, today we hit affiliate. So we need everybody to cheer. Yay! Today we hit affiliate. So I need everybody to So cheer. My side channel is Turb too. Make sure to also sub to my Twitch and everything to help my Twitch journey and everything. Sub to my Twitch and all that. But it's nice to see everybody in my YouTube too, because I like chilling with y'all on my YouTube. It's fun. And of course, after this, everything will be uploaded. But let's get into more comments. About time black people stop feeding AI with their photos. AI for corporate photo shoot, AI for brand product photos, AI for imaginary family photos, AI for cartoon photos. Our people should rest. But the thing is, all your photos are being used whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? So that's the sad reality. Someone asked Chat GPT, oh my god, I need to teach you some ebonics. You sound like a millennial white lady. This is somebody teaching Chat GPT, right? And Chat GPT said, LMAO, please do. I'm trying to be in the group chat, not the PTA meeting. Slide me the phrases, the tone, whatever you need. I'm ready to upgrade from Yas Queen to I don't even play like that. Let's get me right. You see, AI, the fact that AI is able to mimic even A and mimic like aspects of this, you know what I'm saying? And people are feeding into this and people are teaching them this while AI is essentially disenfranchising black communities, and Grok specifically is franchising that community in Memphis. This is disturbing. This is disturbing. This is what I mean by spectacle and relation, right? We want the spectacle of blackness, but we don't want a reality or truth, or I guess idiom of blackness that relates to a material reality in extents to liberation or change. Because the thing is, we're looking at the spectacle and we're looking at this AI and we're being entertained by it. We're feeding Grok text. We're doing these AI 3 things. Let me not say where though. Let me not say where. Let me not say where.
I have a dream.
Let me not say where. Some people, but they're doing all this and they're looking at the spectacle, but they're avoiding the material reality, right, of actual black neighborhoods and actual people and actual black culture being actively erased by an algorithm, by companies, and by this interconnected chain of a feedback loop given to an audience and then taken back. You know what I mean? Thank you to Porcelain Giant for following. Thank you. Thank you, Porcelain Giant. Yeah! 00 said white people are out of control. Oh my god. But Goldilocks said facepalm. Yeah, we still got to get through this. A couple more. Someone said personalizing Chat GPT to use digital blackface to make you comfortable using it. Okay, that's a little bit of a little ableist meme, but I do think it is a little silly. When I say digital blackface, all I mean is this AI works with pre-existing data, and the fact that the video it generates defaults to blackness shows that a caricature of blacks has been most mimic modifying. Yeah. I completely agree with that. One thing I also want to look at was AI minstrelsy. There's this nerdy little guy on YouTube who makes content, and he's actually real dope. He also made a little thing about I think needs to be centered. Although I'm a little bit more radical in him and I think AI needs to be upended. I'm like a Luddite and I want things to be like set on fire. But like this was a more of a liberal take.
Stereotypical AI generated depictions of.
Let me not say more of a liberal take. Let me not say more of a liberal take. Let me say a different take or a different approach to understanding the conversation.
Stereotypical AI generated depictions of black women acting aggressively and delivering sassy clapbacks in a synthesized black accent are flooding TikTok. These posts that perpetuate racial stereotypes have garnered millions of views and are now a genre of AI-generated video on the platform. Considering who's making them and that they prominently feature black stereotypes as part of formulaic slapstick comedy skits, these videos are minstrel shows. Though minstrel shows have always been popular on short-form video sharing apps, bad actors in 2025 have the opportunity to produce these skits on an industrial scale using VO3, a state-of-the-art video generation model from Google. Welcome to the future. I'm a random white YouTuber, and let's talk about AI-generated minstrel shows, which...
This guy's dope. Shout out to him. But I don't want to watch his whole video on stream and then play, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to him. And we're gonna stop it there. I got more to say though about AI minstrelsy and specifically minstrel shows. You know what I'm saying? Like the comedic performance of like blackness, it just can't be separated from racial degradations and stereotyping like at its core. Like like distorting the features, including like looks, language, dance, and all of that was essential because it had to solidify the normalcy of whiteness, right? Anti-blackness and black identity in this sense is essential because it satiate or satisfies a normalcy, right? Someone said, I saw this video yesterday. I love his take on the whole genre. It's very nuanced and well thought out. 00 said AI misogynoir is a new TikTok genre. Who could have predicted this? Yup. Who could have predicted this? Who could have predicted this? Someone said if minstrel comedy sketches like People on Vine is not okay, then the AI version is not neither. Yup. Someone said there's something to be sad about how short form video platforms like TikTok and Vine gained most of their popularity in the US when they became greatly adopted by black youth. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Because black people have constantly set trends, like every trend that you will see. That one that's like I find it hard to sleep without you. And every single TikTok artist like Coi Leray, TikTok artists like Baby Santana all the way back in the day. That's a throwback if y'all remember that. TikTok artists like Pink Panthers. TikTok artists like TikTok like Zeddy Will. TikTok artists like, there's just so much people that have come off TikTok, right? And they've helped change the I guess formulaic genre or even the medium of art on TikTok. Made it more concise, made it more of a cool third space. Just filled it with like all of their love, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean? And what do they get rewarded from this? They get rewarded this form of I guess collage that just makes them into racist caricatures, right? Because the thing is, these algorithms work off of those creators that have created or have posted all of these things online, essentially. What's the other YouTube channel called? The other YouTube channel, let me pull that back up and tell you. I think it's Robert Tolop something. I just don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just gonna show you. Yep, Robert Talpe. Very cool creator, very cool creator. But let's move on to TikTok and see how they're reacting to it on TikTok. Cause I got a couple of these saved. But when I emphasize this, I want you to know that like from a creator to a AI standpoint, these are two different conversations, right? Like King Bach, even though he did do minstrel shows, he could be funny. Like, look at this.
No, that's the batch. Tim up in the house. What? Got a dick up in my mouth. Shit, no.
Like, that's hard.
Donkey. Donkey. Roll call. My name is Ace. Yeah. Make those girls smell. Yeah. My shot so smooth. Yeah. Finna get this belt. Roll call. Donkey. Donkey. Roll call.
My name is Edward.
Yeah.
I am an orphan.
Yeah.
Grew up real poor.
Yeah.
Had to sell my organs.
Yeah. Donkey. Donkey. Roll call.
My name is Russell.
Yeah.
I am a twister.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not finished.
Yeah.
He smashed my sister.
Yeah. Donkey.
You see what I mean? King Bach still playing into a stereotype of blackness, low key, not gonna lie. But essentially he played and like melded through these images or degradations type shit. But now with AI, I want y'all to know that this is gonna go off such a deep end that I'm sorry for the deep end that we're about to drop off for some of y'all. Like, I'm sorry about this.
You can tell this is AI because I haven't put my knee on his neck yet.
The prompt to do that, the prompt to think about that, first of all, the prompt to think about that, the prompt to, guys, the prompt to think about that, and then put it in a Google text, generate that, and then put that online. You know the caucasity you have to have? Do you know the caucasity you have to go through all of those steps? Like, it's tough. It's tough. Someone said Mama was right. It is this damn phone. Yup. Someone said help the kiss cop. Sarah. You know what? I'm gonna go easy on these white people. The thing is, like, these white kids don't really know the history of what they're getting into. The history. But it is, yeah.
Wait, because like, why does everybody think I'm AI? That's
it's
so
a sorcery.
Crazy. I genuinely don't know why everybody is saying that. I'm a human being just like you guys. Wait, because like, why does everybody...
You see what I mean? Even it extends to like when it's not doing a certain type of blackface, it is mimicking and catering to a certain caricature. Like, that is an Atlanta person. That is an Atlanta girl, right? She got the accent. She got, like, that is an Atlanta girl. And this is just, I swear to God, this is just a compiled version of a bunch of Atlanta girls, like, speaking AE and laying down in their bed, just wrapped into like this like slop veggie roll, right? You know what I'm saying? Presented to the audience. Oh my God. Someone said, I genuinely can't tell. Someone said, I need to figure out whose face they're mimicking. Someone said, that's AI. Look at the tattoos on her right arm. Look how the bed changes. Someone said, if this is a real person, what's her at? Like, people are even asking. I also want to talk about how this feeds, I guess, into an online spectacle or an online mode of blackness that we're all, I guess, living in, or that we're all consuming. The fact that, like, black women or black men are this is our projection, or this is the added connotation or social connotation that we're moving towards, right? This is something that we have to reject, because if a white person's imagination, of a white person's creativity, of a black person, of someone from Atlanta, of someone from X and X, pushed online in that sense, overshadows even, this probably got way more likes than a lot of people in Atlanta get, right? 100K. How much people in Atlanta have had 100K likes on a video, right? This AI TikTok video is a more seen spectacle than a lot of people that have lived in Atlanta. Like, essentially. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? And the fact this is being pushed out and manufactured and pumped out is wild. Someone said the foreshortening of the arms is so strange, right? Zara said, I hate the AI voicing artifact because it bothers me on a subconscious level, which is probably while they added gymnopode over top of it. Yup. There's like a little hum with AI, but I'm not really hearing it, like the That's why, I swear to God, that's why they added that like back thing, because AI doesn't even sound human. Like, if you listen to AI,
Back in my day, I didn't have makeup, and I still look better than
you hear that rhythm, that back in my day, it's like,
Back in my day, I didn't have makeup, and I still look better than you.
it's like it's trying to have a soul. It's like it's really trying really hard to have a soul. It's like trying really hard to have a soul. You know what I mean?
I love my natural hair.
That hair isn't real.
Death is seeking you at the bingo table. I love my...
I'm not gonna lie, that's funny. But the fact that this has 1.2 million likes, 13,000 comments with 100,000 likes, comments with 50K likes, comments with 20K likes. The fact that this is becoming like a current conversation, I want to say that's the last point of this, I guess, little stream. The fact, the normalcy of this, and how weird and twisted and convoluted it is on like different levels, you know what I'm saying? The fact that this is what we're going into, the fact that this is the creative ethos that we're moving into, the contortion or caricature of black we're moving into, like I need thoughts, this is probably the last 10 minutes of the video, so get everything out right now. Get everything out right now.
I have a dream.
If you can get everything out right now, get everything out right now. Someone said this is gonna fool a lot of white people who live in cities with few or no black people. Exactly, and you're on the mark. Minstrelsy essentially was more popular in the North than it was the South, right? Minstrelsy was more popular in the North because those black communities had more of a disjointed or disconnected aspect of interpersonal relationship with black people, because they didn't live with black people. Black people in the South numbered way more than they did in the North, right? So this is why those degradations or those stereotypes took place and were way more popular in the North and then spread down to the South. It also satiated the North's need of some type of moral accountability. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're like, oh, black people are like this, then I don't feel bad degrading them. And this is the same aspect of AI art and how it's going to be popular to people who haven't met black people, because they're going to be like, oh, this is the impression of black society. This is the impression. And then it's going to uplift the degradations or the material reality or the material impacts of an ongoing, attack on black neighborhood with AI companies, with fossil fuel companies, with capitalism itself as an extractive resource in the Congo, undermine that and just make it seem like it's there and it's needed. You know what I mean? Someone says, what makes it funny is how randomized the reaction and how nonsensical it is. While the other replicas are having a clear racial undertone, well, you could argue the OG video can play out with anyone. Yeah. Someone said, Zara said, whenever it's funny, I just assume they stole the joke from scrapping black media across the internet. Yeah. Yeah. It was nice seeing y'all. It was nice seeing y'all. I'm gonna play the freestyle screen. Why my freestyle not going on? The freestyle's not going on. It's supposed to be Do y'all hear it? Y'all hear the freestyle? Do y'all hear the hms? I ain't never came to no peace. Don't feel like Spock. I'ma up to 40. I'ma aim that Glock. I'm a YN in my prime. The AI see me in my socks. The AI see me when them white folks see me. They kick rocks. Ayy. They kick rocks, shooting rocket ships. Ayy. I got a rocket pocket. That's sparkmanship. Shoot you with those dark and shit. I feel like Tony Stark and shit. And now I'm starting shit. Everything. I'm gonna catch y'all later.